A layman's introduction to wireless communication. Have you ever wondered how wireless communication works in practice? Wireless communication uses electromagnetic waves for communication. Visible light, like sunlight, is an example of electromagnetic wave. Visible lights are having frequency in the range of 400 to 800 terahertz, but wireless communication signals have got lower frequency in the range of 100 megahertz to 100 gigahertz. Suppose a transmitter is sending a signal to a receiver, and our information is encoded into this signal. Storing information is equivalent to changing a property of something. For example, cavemen used to store information by scribbling on rocks, which in effect is changing the property of the rocks. Similarly, in wireless communication, we change the property of a signal to encode the information. There are mainly three properties of a signal: amplitude, frequency, and phase. Amplitude is the intensity of the signal, as the name suggests. Frequency is the inverse of time gap between peaks. Phase is the offset of the signal. For conveying bit 0, we can use low amplitude signal, and for bit 1, we can use higher amplitude signal. Otherwise, we can use low frequency signal for bit 0 and high frequency signal for bit 1. Similarly, different phases for bit 0 and 1. These three methods of encoding are called amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, and phase modulation, respectively. One major problem in wireless communication is signal attenuation while traveling long distances. In addition, if there is a wall in between, the signal gets attenuated more. This creates difficulties for receiver to know which amplitude corresponds to which information, especially when we use amplitude modulation. To solve this issue, the transmitter can send a non-signal to the receiver. In this case, bit 1 preceded by bit 0, and the receiver can measure the received signal to find out how much is the signal attenuation because of the distance or blockades. This non-signal is called pilot. Second major problem in wireless communication is interference. Suppose there is a second transmitter, this red transmitter, transmitting its signal to another receiver, this red receiver. Our receiver, this green receiver, would be receiving signal from both the green transmitter and the red transmitter. This unwanted received signal from the red transmitter is called interference. The more close the red transmitter to the green receiver, higher would be the interference. The problem is severe when the interferer is near to the receiver and the transmitter is far away. This problem is called near-far problem. To solve this issue, the red transmitter can use a separate frequency, which allows our green receiver to separate out the useful signal from the interference.